Oh man, I'm got some hate on that one. Let's see. Okay. Did I miss any super chats, Chris? No. Okay, we're good. What are some challenges that you guys face in dating? Jane, we'll start with you.
I feel like definitely just meeting people. Like I've been in Santa Barbara for 6 years, and it's kind of a weird age because like I already graduated, like don't want the college hookup life. But there's like a big older population in Santa Barbara too. Like it's kind of weird for people in like their mid 20s. So I guess like that's a struggle, just finding places to meet people besides dating apps.
I think trusting people. I've had really bad experiences with exes with like trust issues and cheating and whatnot. So I think trusting somebody and allowing myself to get close enough with somebody to trust them, because I won't trust them. But yeah.
For me, it's important as trust before I even like let them to see my body and have like intimacy. Because from my past experience, that when you give your like, you give you like pussy to a guy, he just kind of take advantage of that. And secondly, it's just sex is not that good the first time. I mean, that's from my experience.
I'm sorry. Sorry, continue. Continue.
Yeah.
You're good? Elise.
Communication is like also leading to trust. If you don't have communication, it's super hard to be in a relationship.
I agree with that. And trust and everything everybody's been saying, because I want to feel like I know somebody truly before I get there. So it might take a while, but depends how much you hang out and how much you communicate.
For me, I think the hardest thing is that most people that are really out there looking for a relationship or something serious, they're looking for their other half. But the thing is, I am 100% of a person, and I don't want half of a person where they're going to take away from me to fill their voids and fill their needs. I want another human being who is evolved and independent and loves themselves so much where they're not asking of me to love them because they are lacking it in themselves.
Got it. Next question. Do you believe that women shouldn't be judged by the amount of men they've slept with? In other words, like body count.
I don't think you should be judged.
Hold on, sorry. Let's start over here with Jane.
I mean, everyone's fair to like have their own judgments. So if someone isn't comfortable with the number that a girl has been with or a guy, then you don't have to get with that person. But I mean, I do think like it's in your past how many people you've gotten with. So it doesn't necessarily matter to me.
Let me just reframe the question. Should body count matter, or should the amount of people you've slept with in your past matter?
No, like as long as you're clean and like healthy with all that, I don't think it matters.
Okay, so no.
No.
Okay.
I'd say no. I mean, I would understand some feelings towards it. Like, I don't want to necessarily be with somebody who's constantly getting with other people, because then I just wouldn't feel special in a way. But I wouldn't be too upset. I would just say no. Yeah, no.
I think it shouldn't matter because it's a past, and plus it's none of their business, and plus how it can like affect your like relationship with this person. Like it's just it's just number. It's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. And if it does matter, it should go both ways. Like the girls count matter, then the boys counts matters as well.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know who's going to ask. Like, who is this guy who's trying to date me and then ask me how many men I've slept with in the world before I met him? A number? What?
I think it goes back to kind of like the last answer I gave, where I'm like, it really depends on what you're doing it for. Like, if you really enjoy sex and you've slept with 200 people, do it. But if you're doing it to try and fill some type of void or like something within yourself, then that's where you kind of have to And I think you can really tell the people who are sleeping with a lot of people because they're missing something in themselves compared to people who just like to have sex. So I think, like, not from a place of judgment, I just think there are two different views you can take from it of someone who is very open about having a high number.
Okay. So it seems like it's a pretty resounding doesn't matter from the panel. So my follow-up question would be, if you're brave enough to answer, what's your body count?
I think I'm at I have a fuck list.
you
Girls and
got fuck
guys
lists.
or just guys?
Let's do the two, I guess.
25.
Total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know the breakdown between?
I think it's 9 women and the rest guys.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
What was the question again?
What's like, how many people have you hooked up with?
I knew it wasn't that question, but it is. I have never tried to think about it, but it's got to be less than a dozen.
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. But wait, hold on. Didn't you say it doesn't matter or shouldn't matter?
Yeah,
But so if it doesn't matter, why plead the fifth?
because that's nobody's business but my
Okay.
own.
Okay.
You go or me?
You go.
It's a secret. It's a secret.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one private a bit.
Oh, wow. Okay. A lot of people pleading the fifth there.
I never finished my fuck list, so probably around the same, around 25, 30, but I kind of lost track, and I think that should be totally chill, have fun.
Okay. So I guess my follow-up question would be, one, if body count really didn't matter, wouldn't you want to be the change that you want to see in the world? Because if there's, why is it that there's hesitation? And by the way, you guys are free to not answer the question, but I'm curious, what is the hesitation in revealing?
We're women.
I
I
mean,
mean,
For
there's
women.
a huge social difference. I mean, there's this one video, but it's you ask a bunch of girls, does body count matter? We'll say, no, it's fine as long as they're safe and clean. You ask a guy, they'll tap out at 3. They'll say 4.
Yeah.
They're way harsher on us. And that's because of all these standards and expectations, all of this stigma that's surrounded around sex, but only for women.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I see
Yeah.
we're entitled to our privacy because that's not something we get encouraged to say or we get boosted up or get prided on. Whereas men, when they have a high number, it's yeah, dude, it's the cliche kind of thing.
So you think there's a bit of a double standard
Oh, absolutely.
between men and women in terms of their
Yeah.
how they're viewed?
Yeah, there's standard. I've seen this video on TikTok when they ask girls and men the body count, and the guys just say 3 or 2 or 5, and girls they don't care. So, yeah.
So you guys wouldn't be concerned, let's say a guy you were just seeing, either, I don't know what the context would be of him revealing it, but you knew that he had slept with, say, 100 women. Would this be off-putting to you in any way?
I have an ex whose body count, his was 200, and it just came up randomly one night. And he was the first and only guy to make me squirt. So I think that much sex taught him how to do it in a good way.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I've never met somebody who has or hooked up with that has, that I know of at least. I think it'd matter how far apart. If there was a lot within 1 week, I would be a little questionable. Make sure they're clean, go through processes and steps to make sure they're clean. But yeah, depends.
I mean, I never met a guy that has 100 body count. But I guess I wouldn't judge if we even have 100 body counts, because it's all matter his personality, how he treats me.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter. Like I said, body count doesn't matter.
So your boyfriend, he reveals to you, and maybe you already know the answer, but he says, I've slept with 300 women. Not unfazed. Doesn't bother you at all.
Nope.
Okay.
It matters to me. I guess I would probably wonder if they were a player and have a hard time trusting them if it was that high.
I say if he has a high number and he wants to add me to the roster, I'm going to make him work very hard for it. But
Okay.
it wouldn't necessarily deter me. It would just make it more of a game.
Got it. Okay. So I guess we can kind of go into a bit of the double standard and I guess why it exists, because I do think, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me, but I think the double standard is as such. So a guy who sleeps with a lot of women is sort of big upped. That's awesome. Good for you. Like, he's a player, he's a stud, whatever. But if a girl like hooks up with a lot of guys, she's going to be viewed, if she's promiscuous, she's going to be viewed in a negative light. She's a slut, all this stuff, right? And could part of that be, well, maybe I shouldn't phrase this as a question, but could part of that be because it is more difficult for men to get laid than it is for women? And you might disagree with that premise, that it's more difficult for men to get laid than it is for women.
Oh,
but
it is.
so you would agree though that it is more difficult for men.